Hello everyone, this is your Captain Laura Einsettler speaking, and I'd like to welcome you all aboard for our next 8-minute, very short flight today. So I would like to kindly invite you to open your window shades, take a look all around you at the beauty that you see, the colors, the tapestry, the sights, the sounds of everything and everyone all around you. So in the meantime, I invite you to sit back, relax for this quick ride. So PA announcements are just something that's a small part of my job on a daily basis, but I recognize truly that it can make such a substantial experience impact on the passengers, because then you can share understanding and what to expect for your flight to come. So I've taken those PA announcements and I've stretched them tenfold by writing a book, guidebook for passengers. I've written a memoir. I've written a streaming series to help open our world of aviation to everyone. I do a lot of national television news and international news and radio, so I'm coming to see you guys, and podcasts and talk shows and all that kind of stuff, just to help empower and educate and share information to help people feel better and more secure about what's going on in their environment when we have you captive on board with us. So I just want to share, people have asked me often, what is it like to fly those airplanes? And see, now I feel like I should take the mic and do that. It's like for you guys. And so I want to actually share that, because often it's not something I talk about. So I want you to all picture being young and when we were riding scooters or big wheels or skateboards or whatever you prefer. And so what did that feel like to you? So it's a little bit of freedom, right? So you have a little puff of wind in your hair, you're going up and down the driveway, through the sidewalks, and you might wave to, hey friend, And then we worked up to bicycles. You feel the power with those pedals, and you're going faster around the neighborhoods, more wind in your hair, more friends, hey friends. So you're riding in parallel off to the grocery store, enjoying some ice cream cones, and then eventually worked up to what? Cars, right? Windows down, going faster, feeling the power of the engines. And now we could go around the towns and go to the next town and have new adventures and have what? More friends on board with us, right? And so then for me, okay, so then a small airplane at first, powerful, feeling the wind from the propellers, and now everything is 3D. So you look down, you see little Lego people, Lego buildings, and Lego trees and Lego cows, and now I can go to different towns and different villages and see so much, and then eventually work up to more powerful, faster, through the skies. Now we're traveling states, and now we're traveling nationally. And so then, now I fly a huge aircraft around the world, going 550 miles an hour. That's a lot of wind in your hair. And I can take 350 of my friends with me to an adventure around the world on my $250 million scooter in the sky. That is what it feels like, and I wanted to share this with you because it's building blocks, right? All of us here have had those building blocks, those steps of success in achievements. And so because of that, I just want to ask everyone to just really think, what is our message? How are we impacting people every day? What legacy are we leaving? Are we making the world a better place? Are we sharing our knowledge and experience, right? And so a couple years ago, I was at a landmark seminar. I don't know if any of you guys have been to those. And they had an advanced course. In the advanced course, they asked you, okay, do you operate at an individual level? Do you operate at a neighborhood level? Do you city, state, county, national, international, world level? They had us break up into different groups of 8, and they asked each person just say, hey, this is where I operate. And of course, the goal of the exercise was to get all of us to push to that next higher level, right? Expand, grow, and push. And so when they came around to me, they asked, and so, what level do you feel like you operate at? And I said, well, world level. And they looked at me, well, who the hell do you think you are? That you think you operate at a world level? And I said, well, I explained who I was and what I did for a living and the things that I have intentionally achieved so that I can reach those type of world levels. And it was soon after that I joined the IAOTP, and I received my recent award in the mail, and of course cried, because what is on top of that? It's a world, it's a glass globe. And so to be able to have seen that, getting choked up right now. Sorry. Because it's truly them saying, we see you and we celebrate you and all that you've achieved and accomplished at world level. And all of us here that are award recipients, most of us operate at the world level. And so we are dreamers, and we are leaders, and we are achievers, drivers, strivers, and thrivers, right? And so, yes. And so why I want to mention this is because we can't forget those small, engaging moments also. So when I'm in the airport bathrooms, and there's the cleaner, right? And the janitors in our buildings, and the waste management people, and all the people that we're actually in contact with every day. Those moments. So while we're talking to millions of people and sharing information, just those small engaged moments where you acknowledge them and their hard work can save a life. And I've been on the receiving end of those moments in my life. And I want to just give a special shout out to my original scooter OG from when we were 8 years old. And without her fierce warrior love and goodness, I would not be standing with you here on stage today. So Mary Spalding Stanton. Love you. And I'll just share one quick other story before I say goodbye, because I'm going to have my beeper go off right now, so I'm going to stop it. It's frozen at 09, and I'm all about the numbers too. So a couple years ago, I had a trip that was, we call it a PC trip. It's a training center type of a trip. So every year as pilots, we come to the training centers, and we have everything thrown at us to put us to the task for seeing, can you handle everything that can possibly happen and that's going to come your way, to make sure that we're ace of the base, ready to rock and roll anytime we need to for anything. So it was a trip like this, and it was a 4-day trip, and I was out in Hawaii, and I'm flying everyone around a double hurricane, keeping everyone safe, and then flew into the mainland and had this crazy, strong, super challenging wind shear approach and landing. And then the next day it was a major in-flight emergency mechanical situation. And the next day we had a major passenger medical emergency we had to divert for. And on the layover, I was on national news broadcast speaking to a certain topic. And so my family came to pick me up after that trip. My husband, Frank, and my teenage son, Eric, and my teenage daughter, Krista. And they're engaged and they're listening, and how did mom handle everything and that kind of thing. And my kids looked at me and said, Mom, that's great, but what's for dinner? Yes. And so, that was putting my ego back in check, of course, and we've all had those moments in life. And it was my kids' way of saying, hey, it's time to give us attention and protect us and love and nurture. And truly, that is my most important job to date. And so with that note, I want to just humbly and graciously, from the bottom of my heart, thank the IAOTP team for inviting me into your family, because you have no idea what this has meant to me. I love you all, and I want to thank everybody for allowing me to speak with you today. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be able to collaborate and just keep making good, great, big things happen together. And so I hope that I can all have you on board with me, literally and figuratively. You can always reach me at captainlaura.com. So thank you.